All right, it's either a really cool social experiment or an exercise in futility. It is John and Nancy versus the random question generator.
It's always fun.
It's always interesting and always too much information. And it's next because John and Nancy are still talking. All right, every now and then we like to go to our digital pal, the Random Question Generator. It's an online tool, and it just spouts out questions. Mm-hmm. And Nancy and I go, okay, we're going to pick 3. We're not going to pick 3. We're going to do it 3 times.
Yeah, so it comes up, and we have to answer the question whether we like the question
whether
or
you
not.
like it or not. And that way you get to know a little bit more about us, and we get to be completely embarrassed by it. But it works out okay. So, but always something interesting comes out of this segment. I mean, the random question stuff is interesting because it'll trigger a memory or it'll trigger something that you haven't thought about in forever. And I think that's kind of cool.
Sometimes we do it with special guests, but today we don't have a special guest, just me and you.
That's right. So
Taylor's in the studio still.
Taylor Swift. Yeah, we've been getting Taylor Swift on the radio show. It's just a picture of her.
Because we'd like the Swift effect to take over, for our ratings.
Ratings improvement. So we figure if the real Taylor Swift can get you like 500,000 hits on your webpage, a picture of her could probably get us 10. So we're trying anything.
So we're good.
All right, so here we go. This is a random question generator. Again, we cannot pass. You have to answer the question that is put before you. And here comes question number 1. Oh, this is a good one. I like this. This is a good start. Ready?
Okay.
What is your earliest memory?
Oh, jeez, I don't know.
Think.
What's your earliest memory?
You have to answer the question.
Well, I can't think of it right now.
So, my earliest memory, I think, I've thought about this before. I think my earliest memory is being probably 2 or something. We lived in Brunswick, Maine, and we had a piece of playground equipment, like a little thing that you rode on, that you pushed with your feet and it spun you around. It was just a toy thing for little kids. And I was riding on that, spinning around, and I have this memory of doing that in Brunswick, Maine. But I was probably 2 years old. But then my sister, because she always likes to come in and throw water on my cool stuff.
Yeah.
I'm like telling this story one time, and she goes, well, I don't know. We have a picture of you doing that, and maybe you've seen that.
I think a lot of times our earliest memories come from pictures.
But I have a very motion-oriented memory of this toy. You're shaking your head. All right, what's your earliest memory,
literally, my earliest memory is living in New Jersey, having, bobbing for apples at a Halloween party at our place. But I was older. It's like
I was 26.
Doing shooters. No. That is my earliest memory. So we lived in Maine. We moved to Massachusetts. Then we moved to New Jersey. And I just remember it was like a fun Halloween party with the neighbors, and we were actually bobbing for apples.
So I think the most interesting thing about this particular question, about the earliest memory, is that when we were little children, you and I both lived in Maine. Isn't that weird?
Yeah.
I mean,
I was probably 6. I had to have been maybe 6 when that happened.
All right, that's interesting. Yeah. All right. Well, let's go on to question number 2. All right. What is something you can never seem to finish? I'll answer this question for you.
Oh, stop it. You're going to answer it for me?
Yes.
Okay. Yeah.
I'm going to answer Nancy's question, and then she can answer mine if she wants to. Your book.
Yes, indeed. We were just talking about it. I've always wanted to write a book. I start books. I've started on my Google Drive at home. I just don't think it'll ever happen.
At one point in time,
it is hard to author a book. Do you know how disciplined you have to be to author a book? You have to sit down every day and write.
At one point in time, I actually mapped out Nancy's whole book for her. Remember that? I wrote it all out for it. It was an outline for him. I said, this is your book. And you were like, yes, that's great. I'm going to write that. And you never did.
I think it started, I'm not kidding. I think the book started at one of those, remember those parties where they used to sell sex toys? You remember those? Do you remember?
I don't.
No, you do, because that's where the party started, and there was a fight between 2 women.
Yeah, that's right. That's correct. That was the idea for the. Yeah, that was the idea for the book.
Over the Swami or something.
Yep, I do
remembers
remember it.
now.
That's what it was. Yeah, that was going to be a good book.
That was going to be a good book.
The best thing to come out of that, though, was the sex toy called the Swami, actually.
All right. Anyway, yeah,
right.
he is correct. I will. You are right. That's the one thing I will never finish is my book. What is the one thing you'll never finish?
Talking.
Talking, because he needs stop talking. Okay. All right.
Question number 3. All right. Who inspires you to be better?
Who inspires me to be better? Well, you inspire me to be better.
I do.
I work every day with you, and you do a lot of different things, and you're very talented, and you're a hard worker.
Oh, what a nice thing to say.
And,
And that's not because
and you're
I
very
keep
giving.
It's not because I keep screaming do better at you, is it? Because I do that a lot.
No, it's because you do a lot of work for me. You take care of me, and so in the workplace, definitely.
Okay, how about in your personal life? Who inspires you to be better?
Well, my kids do. My kids and my husband.
That makes sense.
'Cause, you always want to be better for them, and sometimes we're not on our good days.
Oh, yeah.
The best we can be. So I think a lot of times, then you'll talk to your kids, you talk to your husband, be like, well, I want to be better for them. I want to be a good person, and
Yep.
Be the best I guess I can.
Yeah, my kids too. You always want to be the best you can for your kids, but I'm telling you this right now. My wife, who I've been married to for 33 years this year, and we dated before that for a few. So I've known her for a long time, more than half my life, right? She doesn't get caught up in any of the stuff that I do, music, radio, show business, none of that stuff. She could care less about all of it.
Yeah.
And so she's an amazing barometer of who I really am.
She keeps you kind of in
Amazing.
check.
And that's why I fell in love with her in the first place.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people that can have fun, but people who can really make you, at your core, be a better person instead of just the periphery.
Correct.
Be a better person.
Yeah.
That's the real deal. She's the real deal.
Good.
So I'm very blessed in that regard. I lucked out.
Oh, I
lucked
get
out.
it. And I did too in my personal life with my husband and kids.
That's very cool. All right, so we are now better because we've been inspired to be better.
Now I got to write a book about the Swami.
You got.
I don't know. You guys are going to all want to read that. You're going to want to read it, and I'm going to get a lot of pressure to write that book.
There is no better ending line in the history of podcasts than now I have to write a book about the Swami. So we will see you next time, because if you keep listening,
we'll keep talking.
And we'll write a book about the Swami.
Bye.